Welcome to Don't Feed After Midnight. I'm Steve.
And I'm Mike.
And we're going to talk about some crap. painful crap. We're going to talk Justice League today. I made notes. I was so offended. Actually, it wasn't that horrible. It was just like almost like three movies in one, and I think that's what threw me off about
DC
it.
movies are never as bad as people say, but they aren't anywhere near what Marvel delivers on.
No, that's true.
That's why people are so upset. But this one has some things to talk about for sure.
I mean, they had two directors, which led.
Well,
you had bad pacing because of that, and that's not.
And
the one guy didn't.
Who was it? Joss Whedon came in after.
What's his name's kid passed away.
Yeah,
and then it's like you feel really bad. It's just like, and then they had a mandate from the Warner execs to cut, time like a half an hour off
something
the movie.
Like that.
And
Usually,
and it was like filler stuff. I don't know what the stuff was, but
Well, I know. I know there was a Flash scene that was filmed for the movie that was Iris West getting into a car crash, and Barry. It's the scene from the commercial where he touches the glass and breaks it.
Oh.
And he breaks through the glass, runs, her car crashes, flips over, it's a convertible, she flies out, he comes through, catches her, car rolls and blows up in the distance, and he holds her, and that's his first introduction to her. Oh. And they had that totally cut it, because they said it didn't fit. And I kind of agree, because it didn't look like anything from the rest of the movie, but
it would have been nice.
It would have been nice to lead into something in the future.
Because they don't have I don't know.
The world building.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, the Joss Whedon scenes, the stuff he did, stand out because the comedy pacing is a bit like Buffy was.
Oh yeah.
Where he's like it's like those quips.
His comedy's kind of off.
I don't mind it at all if it's in small doses, and I do like Joss's style. His work.
Oh, his style's fine.
Kind of fun. But I mean, the scenes, like the way they cut it, like the scenes are very jarring.
Yeah.
They just cut and cut and cut and cut.
I'd say if there was any scene that really truly bothered me for the humor it tried to portray, was any scene involving Batman.
What are you? I'm Batman.
Where there was supposed to be a laugh coming out of it.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't done well at all. Whoever was writing those scenes was terrible. The scene where he comes face to face with Superman at the end, and Superman says something about, like, I thought you hated me or something.
Yeah.
And then Batman's sitting there stumped, and he's like acting like some like 8th grader that just got called out. I don't know. Well, I don't not like you. It's like, dude, you're Batman. You don't do that.
You just have to go and look away.
You just say, I'm Batman.
And that's the thing. Like Batman and Wonder Woman. I mean, this iteration of them.
We interrupt this program to annoy you and make things generally irritating.
A bit of an interruption. We're recording actually at the office for the first time, and FedEx decided to drop something off, so interruption there.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, Batman and Wonder Woman benefited from having, like, they had previous films, so they kind of
they had their connection. They had
the other three characters really could have used that. And what did you say about how if you compare Marvel's releasing movies to DC?
So I seen something on Reddit probably a week and a half ago, where somebody was like looking at Marvel's movies in comparison to DC's movies and how they pace.
Yeah.
And Marvel, you got Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Cap. Then you go to Avengers.
Yeah.
And you're straight into it.
Yeah, and
you go 5 movies and then you have the build up, epic battle. What they did with DC was literally like the Marvel equivalent of the person that made it was like you got Thor, and then like where he's alien dude shows up to Earth and reveals himself as this hero and whatever, and has to go through his own shit. So the comparison they made in like the order of movies, you got the first 5 origin story movies from Marvel, and then you got the Avengers, so you built up the main squad. And the DC movies, though, they just went Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, and then Suicide Squad, and then into Justice League. Wonder Woman, and then Justice League.
Yeah.
So it was, somebody was like, all right, so that's the equivalent of like if someone did Iron Man, Captain America Civil War, Guardians of the Galaxy, and then went back and did like, I don't know, like Ant-Man or something.
Yeah.
And then you go back and do Avengers. Like it's out of place. Everything seems out of place. And you know what? The biggest fault I have in trying to enjoy these movies is the fact that they don't play into the like. I know there's some people that just reject the New 52 and that reject the Rebirth, but
yeah,
you got 52 universes you can like multiverses you can play on.
Yeah,
like utilize that.
I know.
They have 52 different Batmans.
It'd be fun. They could do all sorts of weird things.
Seriously, so many different things you can do with that.
And DC, don't forget, DC's playing catch up.
Big
Marvel,
time.
over the past 10 years, has put out 17 movies.
I think they're at 18 now.
18 movies, and all of which were really successful.
With Black Panther.
Or considered pretty successful. Instead of introducing us to the cast like that, like DC Comics and taking their time, DC just kind of rushed the process, and that really failed.
And it was, I blame Warner Bros, to be honest, because they see Marvel do the character building, they see them do the team building, they got the team movie, and that's the success. So their immediate thought is, team movies are the success.
Yeah.
So they rush into it, and it just screws the whole thing, but
it's pretty
you
bad.
can't do that. They should have did a Man of Steel. Then, honestly, they should have came out and said, all right, we're wiping the slate with Batman.
Yeah.
Here's the new Batman. Did a Batman movie with Ben Affleck.
Oh, yeah.
Then did Man of Steel. Then did Batman versus Superman. Not introduce Wonder Woman.
Didn't he do it?
And then come back and do a Wonder Woman in 1945.
Oh, yeah.
And then do some sort of team-up movie. Not a Justice League, but a team-up movie.
Oh, yeah. Just like her, and even characters from DC's past, from the 40s or 50s. Even.
Right.
That would have been kind of fun, because she was incognito.
Steve Trevor should have lived, honestly, I think. It would have been much better for Chris Pine and the whole deal.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he would have been so much better. I think it would have been great if they turned it around and even if they messed with the story a bit and made Steve Trevor a Green Lantern.
Oh, God.
That would have been really cool.
Oh,
because he was a pilot.
That's true. Oh, that's really true.
Because it adds to that.
You guys can hear my my 8-month-old in the background, by the way. Sorry. She's hanging out with us today. Just she wants to be part of the conversation. But let's talk about the CGI too, though, man. That CGI was bad. Realistically, Steppenwolf
Steppenwolf was terrible.
He looked like something from the early 2000s video game, like a PlayStation
absolutely,
1 or 2.
A cutscene.
It was bad.
It was.
I'm like, is that
bad.
Sephiroth? No, it's Steppenwolf.
No, it's not. It's Steppenwolf.
And he was really underwhelming and boring as a character.
He got beat to shit in no time.
It's just, I'm a big nerd. I love DC and Marvel and stuff like that, and I had to Google who the hell he was.
Oh yeah.
They could have had Calabac. You know what I mean? That would have been interesting. Or even Brainiac.
Brainiac. See, that's the thing with Man of Steel. They were like, they established we're taking the real world approach to if Superman came.
Yeah.
And so they turned Brainiac into the ship as a concept. So when they did the terraforming, it looks just like Brainiac's ship.
Yeah.
So that's what they did. And it just terraforms rather than sucking up the planet. It just breaks it. And
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, they just changed the origin of Brainiac.
And if you think about it this way too, the previous DC films were not even really connected to the Justice League, except for Superman's death and Diana's loss of Steve. And then you had, the very tail end of Superman.
Yeah, Justice League just didn't have much connect.
Yeah, you had them like Batman finding Luthor's info about the different leaguers.
I liked Lex in Batman vs Superman.
I didn't hate him either. I thought
think the only thing that they got wrong was that they made him the Riddler.
Yes, dude, totally. And that's the thing too. Is he was just a little less villainy and more comedy like. It was almost as if
I loved it.
They were but
I wish it were more serious.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't as serious.
He wasn't. They're trying to play off. I guess maybe that he's kind of crazy. I guess, but Lex Luthor was never really that crazy.
No. That post credit though, with Deathstroke and Lex meeting up to do the was it the Legion of Doom?
That's right.
Yeah,
which would have been kind of fun.
Deathstroke looked so cool. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I forget what the actor's name is, but he's super cool. But
I don't know. They have a lot of options. They do have a lot of options of what they could do. But I have a feeling they're going to wind up. I think didn't they say they're not going to do anything else?
No, they're doing stuff. They're but they said Ben Affleck's final movie is Ben Affleck's not getting a Batman movie.
No, I don't think he wants one. Anyway.
He wanted one. They just couldn't agree on shit, and they couldn't agree on writers, directors, all that. Because originally Ben Affleck was going to direct it, but he couldn't agree with the writing team.
That's right.
And then he stepped down from directing, and then the writing team just kind of fell apart. They said there's no Batman, but his final movie, Ben Affleck's final movie as Batman, is going to be Flashpoint, which is really cool because that means they're going to be able to bring in Jeffrey Dean Morgan as the violent Thomas Wayne.
That's true. And then afterwards, when everything's reset, they might be able to put a different Batman in there. Yep. That makes sense because the universes have kind of like altered a bit.
Yep. And I think that's going to be the move for them going forward. I think they should keep the kid playing Flash because he's really good, and it's nice to have a consistent actor for a character like Flash.
Yeah.
I think Wonder Woman should stay. I think she is really great.
Oh, Gal Gadot. Oh, she's amazing. Yeah, no, she's really.
I mean, not
good.
only is she really cute, but she's really, really good at the role.
She is. She plays it very well.
Yeah.
You know. Aquaman. I mean,
I like Aquaman. I mean, I understand the whole like we need a badass that's not Batman.
Yeah.
But they made him more of like a drunk that doesn't know of how strong he really could be.
And he's just angry all the time for no reason.
He's just
they don't define what makes him angry.
Yeah.
He's just angry. He just hates everything.
I think that's just Jason Momoa.
No, well, he's basically.
I mean, I know he's a funny dude.
My wife had a good way of putting it. She's like, it's basically it's Khal Drogo as Aquaman. It's exactly what it is. It's like, oh yeah. It's exactly what it was.
That's a good description.
Because Jason's a pretty versatile actor. He's really cool. I think he's got interesting qualities. And I mean, the ladies look at him like a big heartthrob, of course. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know, when I met him at Comic-Con a couple of years back, I felt bad for him because he was just. We were standing around the fire pit. He's trying to have a drink, and he's got women literally just staring at him. Just a couple of them standing 2 or 3 feet away, just like looking at him. He's just like,
I am real human.
I am. Yeah, it's so funny. And he was just like, it's okay, man. And I bumped into him at the con the next day. I was like, hey Jay. I was like, you survived the party. He just rolled his eyes. He goes, I don't even know. I felt bad for him. He was just like, I'm not a piece of meat, you know.
Right.
He's actually a really intelligent dude.
I'm sure he is.
You know. He's married to Lisa Bonet, right?
Maybe.
I think I know he's got kids.
He's got kids.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's like me. He's a heartthrob, you know. He goes to the cons and the girls just fall all over.
Oh
him.
yeah.
That's what my wife has me as a booth babe. You know? Making money. I look hot. I get the baby on one arm.
Take the shirt off, you know.
Ladies.
Check it out.
Look at my 3-pack.
Check me out.
My 3-pack is bad.
Check out the beer gut.
Check out the beer gut. It's hot.
Yeah.
I don't have a beer gut anymore. I'm telling the listeners that.
That's me.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Your dad got on you about that recently.
He did.
He told me, he's like, you make him work out. He's getting big. I'm like, oh. That's not true. Mike's super skinny. He's like really painfully skinny.
It's all pain.
It's all pain. But I don't know. What are we gonna what's the next movie for DC now? What's the next one on the block?
I think the next one is. I don't really know because a while back I heard that they were doing a Gotham City Sirens with Harley and.
That'd be cool.
I think they casted a Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
And someone else, but that was the last thing I heard. But there's also supposed to be a Suicide Squad 2 coming, which, if they do it better than the first one, it can only be good. The first one was all fun and play.
Oh, I didn't hate it. It was fun to watch.
It wasn't meant to be serious. I think a lot of people thought it was supposed to be serious in the way that Guardians of the Galaxy had a serious tone.
Yeah.
Even though Guardians was a lot of fun, it was just a lot of serious.
The thing with Suicide Squad, again, is the same problem I think they had with the Justice League movie, is that their main baddie was not somebody anybody really knew or gave a crap about.
Enchantress is so obscure for a bad...
I mean, they could have had somebody like even Solomon Grundy, which would have been interesting.
I think Joker being the bad guy should have been
that would have been fun. Yeah.
And it would have made people respect the Jared Leto Joker more. Because I love Jared Leto as a Joker. I thought he played the classic comic Joker.
Is he supposed to be like a new iteration of a Joker?
Yeah, like a more modern take.
Well, there already was a Joker. Batman, either he died or Batman put him away.
No, not in this one. This one is the one that Batman put away.
It doesn't make any sense, though, because he's so young.
But he's only been in Arkham for a little bit of time.
But Batman's been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah.
And Joker, traditionally in the comics, he met Batman pretty quick.
Jared Leto is like 37, 38.
But Batman in this is supposed to be pushing 50, right?
Yeah, I think that's their biggest problem is their casting. It doesn't line up with character age. Yeah. And because we know certain characters are certain ages, it kind of screws with it. But I think the way that they're trying to play it is Batman and Joker do have a significant age gap. Unlike the comics where we don't know what their age gap could be. Bruce could be the same age as Joker in the comics. You don't know. They don't give an exact birth date of either character. I mean, Bruce probably has like one or two moments where they say like, "Oh, he was born in this year and on this date," in a couple comics.
Yeah.
But Joker, you don't see that because you don't even know what his origin was beyond like age 20 something.
Exactly. Like, and the thing is, like, there's different comics that will claim that, you know, what was his name in the old Batman movie from '89, the Tim Burton one? Not Joe Cool.
No, it was. Oh shoot!
If you have any idea, please email.
Yeah, seriously, do it. Because I'm drawing blanks.
I forget what his name is, but you know, Jack Napier. That was his name.
I like that name.
But yeah, and the thing is like, I think in one of the newer Batman movies where the Joker appeared, they said that was one of his aliases.
Yeah.
It was like a nod to the Tim Burton movie.
Uh-huh. And in the White Knight comics that have just been out for a while, that's his name in there too.
It's interesting. It's almost becoming a thing where it's going to be like his real name,
yeah,
you know, or assumed name or whatever.
But I know I think it was the New 52 run with the Joker, they explain that at one point there's like 3 different Jokers
at once. I remember seeing that, right?
And they trade in.
Or that was Flashpoint. That's what I saw. Where it was like there was a Joker that was locked up in Arkham. There was a Joker that was running loose in Florida, and there was another Joker in Gotham at that point.
That's ridiculous.
And it was all 3 of them on the screens at once. And Batman's like, it's physically impossible for there to be 3 Jokers.
That's not Flashpoint, because in Flashpoint it's Martha. Martha's the Joker.
Oh, that's right. But what's the one where these 3 Jokers?
I know what you're talking about, though, because that's the one that I'm talking about. It was in the New 52 somewhere.
Yeah.
I think it was Endgame.
Because they showed maybe it was Endgame. Yeah, because they showed the Joker with the camera and the print shirt from killing. When he killed Robin or whatever.
But they're all different. They're different Jokers.
They're different Jokers. Yeah, completely different individuals.
I don't know if I like that idea. I'd rather it be one person.
Yeah, me too.
But
or at least have the one Joker exist for a long time. And then when he dies, and somebody else takes up his reins.
Yep.
You know
somebody purposely takes in the toxin or something.
Or somebody that he tortured to the point and made them think that they were him.
Right.
So when he died, they activated, sort of thing. Like,
you know who's a character I'm really upset they haven't thrown into movies yet is Nightwing.
Yeah.
I'm really upset.
Ex-Robin?
I heard that they were going to cast, what's his name? Jared Padalecki, the dude from Supernatural, as him, because I guess he's getting into more action roles lately. But I don't know. I think the dude looks a little bit too feminine to play some character as supposed to be tough and like.
Yeah, I mean, he was just
a hard ass as Dick.
Yeah,
I mean, but I'm really upset that they haven't done that. I'm really upset that they haven't covered yet what happened to Robin. All we know is that Robin was murdered by Joker and Harley. We don't know what the event was. We don't know what, the circumstance was. We don't even know which Robin it was.
Exactly. It could have been the female Robin.
Like, we got all we seen was the suit, and the suit has indications that it's the Red Robin suit,
Yeah, you're right.
It was just colored, like, weird.
Yeah, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't the spandex-y looking one from the 60s.
No.
Did you see that comic, or that maybe it's been a one-shot thing somebody put out? It was the Joker, the Joker from the last Batman movie, where he was in.
Which one?
Heath Ledger Joker.
Oh yeah.
And it was him versus the '60s campy Batman from the TV series.
Oh
and that
yeah.
Batman's coming and riding on the back of a camel, and he's like, "I escaped your camel trap, Joker." And Joker's like, "I just killed your Robin." He's like, "Aha!" He says, like, "You mean you've put him to sleep or something?" He's like, "No, you idiot. I mean, I killed him. I choked him to death. Right now, he's dead. He's physically dead. I killed him."
He's literally
and the Batman's
dead.
like, "You're such a prankster." He's like, it's like, what? It's so funny. I like that idea of the Batmans from different time periods crossing and seeing.
Because if they do, it's
they'd
totally changed.
Oh, yeah,
like,
that'd be funny. Or even the Joker from one of those time periods facing, the Joker from the the newer movies and just getting
gosh.
beat to death. He's like, oh my god, you're like 90. He's like, oh, It was pretty fun.
I like, it's something I really liked though about the new Joker was when they showed him with Harley, and then they showed the dream sequence that she had.
And she had her original outfit on.
Where she had her original outfit, and they took that right from one of the comic covers and recreated it. And it almost looks just like, at one point you can almost snapshot it, and it looks just like the comic.
Yeah.
And then there's the other scene where they have the kid, or the kids, the twins. And they're like Harley's carrying one of them, and she's got the curls in her hair.
Oh yeah,
and,
yeah.
Joker comes through with his suit on, looking like a pro dad.
Like he's gonna go to work. But you can't chalk that up to jobs.
And then earlier in the movie, when they showed him on the ground with the knives and the guns all around him.
Oh yeah.
And then in the corner, you see like 3 baby outfits: one that's blue, one that's pink, and one that's black. Like, kind of pointing to the idea that one of their kids died. Like, oh. Gosh.
Like they had kids at that point,
right?
Like the kids, and then, I mean, the comic books, she had a kid, and then they gave it to her sister, and she mentioned that Joker didn't even notice she was gone. She'd been gone for like 6 months and had the baby, and came back, and he didn't even notice she'd disappeared because he's so crazy.
Yeah, he's insane.
She never wanted him to know that they had a kid together because she knows he'd probably either kill the baby or something.
Yeah,
because he's nuts, But
yeah, Justice League.
I don't know what to say about that movie, dude. Like halfway through, my wife just fell asleep, and I was watching it, but I wound up pulling my phone out and going on Twitter and going, "Why?" I know.
I think Cyborg could have been executed so much better.
It was a mess,
and they lined him up in Batman vs Superman to have such a better story.
I know, and the actor that played him, I mean, he didn't really.
I mean, you don't even really need an actor to play him.
But he wasn't very good at it either, and that's the thing that bugged me too. Is like he didn't have a screen presence. He was just kind of like, I'm brooding teen boy.
I feel like that's going to be the curse of Cyborg for the next forever, though. Like
they could just do an adult version. Say screw it, give him a little gray on the sides, and do like the Cyborg was in the '80s, where he's just like 30 something. He's been Cyborg for a while,
right?
As opposed to the booyah teenage one,
right? And he wasn't even like teenage. This dude looks like he's 26.
I know. It's just the CGI. They CGI'd his face. They should have done practical effects, and then just CGI'd some of it.
Well.
You know what I mean? Unless they did, and just the CGI.
Well, no, they actually had him half CG'd. He that was his real face in most of them shots.
It didn't look real though,
because the rest of it looks so fake. It's ridiculous. Like they didn't know how to edit it properly or whatever. I guess because I seen the footage of them running around with the suits and all that, and he's like he's got like a gray mocap suit with the balls like the sensor balls all over himself, and he's got like some of them all up the side of his face for the robot part of him. It just didn't translate, I guess, because that is his real face on one side of the screen, but I think they filtered the hell out of the movie. It's like they took the movie and went to Instagram with it, and then just kept flying through filters, and then they were like, oh, this one will work.
Well, it's funny because you look at the first 2 Harry Potter movies were shot with an amber filter.
Yeah.
And then like the third movie they just didn't do it, and everybody's like, well, this kid's so pale.
It looks so cool. Like
you're a wizard, Harry.
And she thinks it's funny too. Justice League. even a baby lass. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about that. I'm not excited about any of the DC movies coming out. I'd like to see Flash. I think it'd be kind of okay. But
I think Flashpoint might be the best of all of them when it comes out.
If they can do it.
I think they're gonna do it because they need to find a way to get rid of Ben Affleck, and that's just probably like one of the best.
And it's the worst part is you don't even want to say get rid of him because he's doing a great job.
I think honestly, jawline and presence, he probably could be the best Batman we've had. Probably the best looking, like Batman wise. I think he plays the Bruce Wayne part beautifully. I think he really looks like the Bruce Wayne.
Well, because he's filthy rich.
I'm rich, bitch!
Yeah,
part of it too.
He's got the jaw. He's got.
And guess what? I love you. I love you. I love you.
But I think the writers kind of screwed the pooch with this most recent movie. Justice League Batman is different from Batman versus Superman Batman. It's not the same attitude. He's not the same dude.
It's like a different character. It does Warner Brothers execs, I think, overreaching, overstepping, and trying to like control it. You know.
And they're failing miserably.
Oh yeah.
And it's I don't blame Zack Snyder. I know there's a big group of people that just think Zack Snyder is the devil and he's ruined DC movies. But I think if anything, he's done a great job with what he's been given as far as casting goes, as far as writing teams go. Like it's no secret that DC movies have like a huge amount of hiccups before release. Like every single one. The only one that really didn't was like Man of Steel, I think. And every other movie after that, it was like writer changes left and right. And Wonder Woman, I think, too, was an exception because they wanted a mostly women presence on set. So they had the director was a woman. I think a couple of the writers were women. And they kind of stuck with that. But like, those are the only two ones. You got like 5 or 6 DC movies now that are in this universe. And they're all sloppy.
And that's the thing. They almost can just. But the thing is, though, with the way social media is, and how everything is like.
All it takes is you put out one opinion, and everybody agrees with you.
Well, not just that. I mean, these movies are part of the zeitgeist now. They're part of like the bad mustache removal of Superman and stuff like that. That's part of like the society, like of nerd society now. So like.
Yeah.
You can't even flush this all down the toilet. You couldn't even put this on hold.
Nerd culture is pop culture now.
Yeah, it is.
So it's like when you fuck it up, you're fucking up pop culture.
And you can't put it on hold. You can't just say, okay, well, forget about everything. Put it on hold for like 3 or 4 years and then try to start fresh. Because people are going to...
Now we're going to get confused.
Yep.
Because you're going. It's like, all right, well, are you going to keep Henry Cavill for Superman?
Exactly.
Or are you going to switch up and have a young guy?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to keep Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman? Or are you going to switch up and have a new chick? Are you going to toss Ben Affleck? Or are you going to keep Ben Affleck and have him be an old, wise Batman? Like...
If they were smart, they would keep Gal Gadot, do another really cool, very well thought out Wonder Woman movie. Mm-hmm. Find some way to get that Flash movie done properly.
I want a Flash movie.
And drop Easter eggs in with some fun characters here and there. And then, then move on from there. But give it time. They could do a fun movie, a fun, low budget, black and white Question movie. The Question. He was a fun character. He's weird, but he's really psychotic. And, it's almost like that Mel Gibson, Julia Roberts movie where he was convinced that the government was watching him all the time and there was like microphones hidden in the shoelaces and things like that. Like, he's that level of nuts, but he's also an extremely good private eye. Like, really, really good PI. So, I mean, you could have some fun with like almost a film noir, almost, what's that movie that he did with black and white, really kind of bloody?
Sin City.
Sin City. You can do a movie shot like that. It would be fun. It'd be really neat to see.
Yeah.
I'd go see a Question movie. He's not exactly... I mean, we talk about obscure characters. Yeah, he's really obscure. But it'd be kind of fun to see, Even throw in some other B character just for fun, like...
I think...
Hawkman or something.
I think the whole culmination of what DC's done has proven that they need to not rush things and take their time more because they've proven everything after Man of Steel up until Wonder Woman was rushed. Yeah. They had 3 movies completely rushed. Like, and all they only got 5 movies, and 3 of them were completely rushed.
And the only reason
those are the ones that people look at and they're like, ah.
Well, and the reason I think the movies did so good is because people like. You have your fanboys. There are people like us that really like comic books, and they like, I'll give it a shot. Let's check it out.
I mean, I don't give a shit. I'm a fan of any movie. If it's in a geek forum, like any Star Wars movie, I'll love it. Any Marvel movie, I'll love it. Any DC movie, I'll love it because I am a fan first. Like the fact that we can say that we have 7 hero movies a year.
Oh yeah,
go back 15 years ago.
Oh yeah. The fact that you can say there's been 17 Marvel movies. I mean, look at the last Captain America movie that came out before the recent ones was like it was bad from the 70s with really like really horrible costuming. It looks like it was shot for $20,000 on a college campus. I
mean, seriously, Thor looked ridiculous.
His hammer was like literally the size of like a shoe.
Right. It was so weak, but
it was bad. Like he hit the Hulk with it and it just bounced off.
But we're in that era now where it's everything is nerd. If it's in movies and it's is successful, it's nerd based. It's the shit that you got beat up for 20 years ago. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
big time.
I mean, now that's the big deal, and anytime I see they come out with something, I'm gonna appreciate it, even if it's slightly off. I'll find the good part of it at least. You can't deny that this DC cinematic universe is completely rushed as of right now.
It's just a hodgepodge.
And I think they need to take about 2 years and then do Flashpoint. And that's all they need to do for now. Just give us time in between Justice League and Flashpoint.
Do a TV movie. Something fun, like a 4-part miniseries.
The fact that the CW characters never aligned with the DC universe was a major fall off.
Oh, big time. Well, yeah. I mean, look at the Flash.
Like, even the Marvel Netflix series stuff, like they're in the same universe. Even though you can't ever see Stark Tower in New York, or you can't see like Iron Man flying over the city to do this.
They reference
the alien attack on New York. They reference the Sokovia Accords. Like, all of that stuff is in the world.
Yeah, they tied it together.
So it's all real. Stan Lee still has small spots in all of the shows. Like, whether it's a poster on a board or if he's some random dude walking past, like, he's there. So it's all tied together. But when you have the Arrow, you have the Flash, you have Supergirl, you have Legends of Tomorrow, and none of it ties into the movies, you're asking for failure.
Exactly. Because you have this whole fan base that are like, well, that's not my Flash.
It doesn't matter.
And that's sad but true. That's how I feel about looking at this new Flash guy they have in there.
I love the new Flash guy.
He's fine, but he's not Grant.
He's not what the other actor is.
Well, that's the thing.
And if you were used to the Flash from the show,
you get 4 years of him.
You're not going to appreciate the new guy.
Well, that's
much.
the thing too.
But I love Ezra Miller though.
Oh, I like him a lot. Ezra's a fun actor. You know, he's really good with the quips. You know.
Oh yeah, and he's really. He's a short dude and a little goofy, but.
I think it's cool.
But I think Flash recently in the show has been kind of taking the serious route. Hasn't been like any jokes. It's been all
ever
serious.
since he got back from the Speed Force.
And it's kind of like, I don't know.
Mom and Dad have both died again.
Yeah.
I don't
know. I just can't get into the shows like that. Like, I know they're decent, but I just can't do it. And I don't like the actor that plays Flash, to be honest. Just appearance wise, I don't like him.
He looks
he looks childish. He doesn't look like he could have the potential to have strength. He looks seriously, he looks like he belongs on a Nickelodeon show. The guy that plays Arrow, the Green Arrow, is like, he's cool. I know he's believable as hell. I kind of wish they brought him in for a Green Arrow like role in the movies. And I know Supergirl's cool, but she's a little bit more, I don't know, traditional comic idea of her. She's not a movie material Supergirl.
No, she's not. Yeah, it's not the.
The actress might be able to pull that off, but I think like they purposely make it to be more like the original stuff, almost as if it was done in like the 80s as a small show. Like like it almost feels like the Wonder Woman. Like the old Wonder Woman show, turned into Supergirl.
Both franchises have a huge amount of people they can pull to put in, like fun characters they could do little shows on, and then take those shows and turn them into movies. They're just not. They're not going that route. And I don't understand why. I understand putting a TV series together a weekly series is insane. The timetables and getting started. Most series don't make it beyond. One season and they get shit canned nowadays,
Right.
But with Netflix, now you have that opportunity to actually go and do fun stuff. You could do a Hawkman series.
Right.
You could do Wonder Woman and have Gal Gadot be in it and just do, she could come and film for, a week and be done and have enough, on film, I'm sure, to do a good 5-6 episodes.
And seriously, just a quick buzz, That's all you really need.
You could even do the old school DC stuff, like the JLA from the 20s and 30s, which would be a lot of fun,
I think
the Green Lantern, it wasn't really a Green Lantern, you know what I mean?
Yeah, see, that's another thing. With the DC universe, I understand why they refused to bring in Green Lantern right out of the gate.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Ryan Reynolds one done by whoever did it, I forget. I know it was somebody famous that directed it, but...
Wasn't it Zack Snyder? Didn't he do it?
No, it wasn't Zack Snyder. I think it might have been Joss, bro. But yeah, it was totally ruined.
And that's also because Ryan is... He's so funny.
He's too funny.
He's a sexy, funny dude, and it's like you can't I don't know, like, he didn't, every time I looked at him, I was like, it's
he
fine.
acknowledges, like, it was a mistake. Like, whoever casted me for that, you fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
So, I just happened to notice on IMDb they have the Green Lantern Corps slated to be coming out in 2020.
Yeah, I call bullshit on that.
Yeah, me too. There's no way.
That was because I think that was part of the original plan, and IMDb does take into account plans because and Avengers 4 was originally called Part 2 to Infinity War, and IMDb had it as that for a long time. Just recently, they said it's not a Part 2, it's its own movie, and IMDb changed it to Untitled Avengers movie or something.
Because Warner Brothers is doing like the fall of 2018 shoot for Suicide Squad 2, supposedly, but I thought they were already putting that together. Like they're already getting ready to.
See, that's where it confuses me because if Justice League just came out, chances are they were already filming something at the time of release of Justice League.
Yeah.
What is that? You know, what are they trying to push out next? Are they doing Flashpoint right now and it comes out early 2019? Are they doing like that would be sweet? If it was like a January release, like top of the year Flashpoint, I'd love that. Because Marvel doesn't do movies in January.
No.
Marvel waits for March, July, and...
Or until DC's about to do something, and then they
just
wait,
fight
look what we
them.
did. Yeah, they do it just like, well, guess what?
But I think a big problem, another big problem that both companies kind of suffer from, is that Marvel has Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo, all these people at the forefront of their shit. Mm-hmm. DC is not going to be able to take any of them for actors and bring them in as a character over here. And I don't think that's a contractual thing. Mm. I think that's more of these dudes are working over here. These people aren't even going to bother because these people are making so much over here. Yeah. And they're already at an established point.
Yeah.
So you can't pull from these people over in Marvel. So DC has to find actors that aren't in anything Marvel. And that's the biggest challenge when you have 80 characters that have all been in Marvel shit. Like, probably only like 3 actors in all of the 5 DC movies that have been in both universes. And they're not even main characters. They're side people. Like...
It's true.
I mean, it's a little ridiculous. Something else I thought about with Flashpoint, though. If they do the full Flashpoint comic style where Thomas Wayne is a badass murdering hero, like an anti-hero, then that means Martha is Joker. And if Martha's Joker, then that means, I think her name is Laura Cohen, the chick that plays Maggie on Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to be the Joker for that movie.
That'd be a lot of fun.
And she's got a really wide mouth, so she already looks like... She already's got the smile down.
That's true.
But, that movie. Aquaman gets killed by Wonder Woman. Oh, that'd be crazy. They'd have to introduce a reverse Flash. That'd be interesting.
They could do a lot of fun stuff. They could do a freaking Legion of Doom movie and have the end of that movie lead into the next Justice League movie. They could totally just do that. It'd be a lot of fun.
I think a Legion of Doom movie would be great as long as they keep it a villainous movie and not a fun movie like Suicide Squad.
Like just have them take over the planet. Like straight up have them succeed by the end of the movie. Like you think they're going to lose, but they don't. Their plans all work out and they wind up taking over the whole goddamn planet because the JLA is off planet. And have JLA come back and like, like, what the hell's going on here? Oh, bullshit. And then you have the next Justice League movie be them fighting the Legion of Doom, trying to retake the planet. That'd be a lot of fun. And you get people being bitter because the Superman wasn't there to save them and crap like that, And there's a lot of options they could do with stuff like that.
There's so many options. There's too many options. And, I think both Marvel and DC have a lot of options that they aren't considering. I think both of them are just ignoring opportunity. Because there's so many characters that Marvel could have touched on by now that they've just ignored. The Celestials in general have just been ignored.
Oh, yeah. They could do so much stuff with those.
They've ignored all the god beings. I mean, they touched on Eternity with Guardians too, but, they ignored them completely. There's no mention of them. The Living Tribunal hasn't even been addressed. They don't even know about them. Not even Doctor Strange has any knowledge of these god beings. There's a lot of people that are just way more powerful. And I'm waiting for that Fox deal to clear this year. Or no, next year. Yeah, next year. So that they can start being like, hey, here's Galactus, giant world eater, fight him. Like, here's Silver Surfer, he's his minion. He's gonna help you though. Kill him. Like, I mean, seriously, like, there's so many people that just aren't. Well, there's a lot of people that aren't allowed, but then there's a lot of people that aren't even considered. I still think Moon Knight as a Netflix series alone would be great. I mean, it doesn't need to be a full movie for Moon Knight. Give him a Netflix series where you just explain who he is and then show him doing some crazy shit in his suit. Like, that's enough for me. Redo Blade. I seen somebody recommended cast John Boyega as Blade. Like,
that would be so awesome.
Why don't they do this? I mean, I swear, if I had a dollar for every time I came up with a sweet ass idea and no one heard me besides like the core friends I have. All three of them.
All three of them. I get to say, wait till you get to my age. If you have more than like three friends, you're excited. Like, oh, I have more than three. Look at me. Because all your friends move away, or you get so busy with work and school, you're just like, with kids and work and everything like that. You're just like, I can't. I'd like to go hang out, but I got to do this.
Right. I think Justice League could have been much better if they didn't leave a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, they left too much there, and what they did leave on the cutting room floor probably would have fleshed out the movie enough that it would have made more sense.
I feel like that's the biggest fault from them was that they just totally ruined the editing. Mm-hmm. The writing, spotty. The moods of it, spotty.
But you can't chuck that up to Joss taking over either, because Joss is writing. I can't
chuck it up to Zach either, because he only went half the process.
Yeah, and Joss and Zach both have their own vision and stuff like that, but they mesh well. Joss he reined it in, because that could have freaking totally been a freaking Scooby's. It could have been a freaking Buffy Scooby's movie with tons of wisecracking, tons of
Right. I mean, it couldn't be done in a Ragnarok style where it's all jokes.
Exactly. I mean, I will bring this up again. Technically, if Marvel owns Buffy can technically be in, Avengers. I'm just saying, not a main character, but she'd be in the background. I'm just saying, Sarah Michelle Gellar, kind of fun. I liked it. Kind of fun. I liked it. David Boreanaz, cool dude, angel.
Cool dude.
Fun. Maybe not so cool because he's like harass people, but
Oh, jeez.
They have a lot. They can do. We should probably wrap this up. We'll do another. I think the next episode, I'd like to talk about women characters, like that they're working on and have worked on, like strong characters,
strong roles.
Yeah, I like that. I think it'd be cool.
That'd be sweet.
I like that. We're gonna do. You hear me? We're doing it.
You hear me?
All right. Follow us on Instagram, all the social networking fun things. We're on Vero now, surprisingly. If you can ever get it to work. It does not work half the time. I'm not going to lie. We're on Twitter at DFAM Podcast. We have a lot of fun with that. And just message us, send us an email if you want. We'll talk about different things, and who knows, we might even talk about your email.
Maybe
not. Maybe not. We forget things.
Yeah,
it happens. We're human. Speak for yourself. I'm a god. All right. Until next time. Peace out.
Peace.